So once you've created your characters, this is my original character named Orange Sweet. She's from Ethro and Friends. What I've done to just get familiarize myself with storytelling, I used Goldilocks and the Three Bears, but I used my own characters to portray and illustrate that. Here I'm doing a run cycle. Well, not a skip. It's like a skip. If you can see, it's frame by frame, and I've drew the background, and I'm just animating that. And then she's skipping happily, and then I've done a a scene where she's kind of like, oh, I ran out of energy, and holding her tummy, and she's hungry now. She's hungry, and she's like, oh, I want some food, and then she's kind of upset, and then she spots a house, and then I drew the background there for the second scene, and then I drew her knocking on the door. Bam, bam, bam. If you can see the door, I drew the like the bear on there to just illustrate this is the bear's house, and then then I drew the chairs. She tries the three chairs. One's too small, and the chair breaks, and then that's Orange Street now falling down. This is great to familiarize yourself with your characters, and animating your characters that you've created. It's simple shape design because we have to animate it. So she's made up of circles. The arms and legs are cylinders. When you simplify the shapes, it's easy to just go through it. I've stilled the background, and then I started animating her because I'm not trying to keep reanimating the background, so I've done that in a separate layer. And as she's sitting down, I've done like the food smell is coming towards her, and then she's like, what's that? And then she gets excited, and then boom. If you look on there, that's not a lot of frames. It's like the speed run. And then now the Goldilocks, when she tries the porridges, but with my own character. So this is the first porridge that she's gonna try, and she's gonna eat it, and then I'm still animating frame by frame, and then she's like, yuck, this is not nice. And then the second one, it's like, oh, it's too spicy, and then I've done a little fire. You can watch all this if you check my channel. It's one of the shorts videos. You can check it out if you haven't. It's very nice. And then I've done the section where she checks out the beds. She's tired, and she's like, oh, yawning. Ooh, that's a weak yawn sound. As you can see, I need to work on my voiceovers, which I'll get to. And then I changed the shot scene because she's gonna do a jump now. She jumps, and the first bed is too springy, and here I animate her sinking into the bed, no, bouncing off the bed, sorry. It's too springy. And then the second one, it's not springy enough, so she jumps back off there because it kind of sucks her in. And then the third bed, which she finds, and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna sleep in that one. So I've just animated that there, and that's that. So now I'm cleaning it up now. I've done all my rough, and this is the bit where I'm gonna animate the chair breaking. And then I've gone back to the background and just cleaning up the background now. Some nice clean lines. Looks pretty good if I do say so myself. And now I'm just coloring it in. And voila, there we have it. Looks pretty nice, right? I done the camera movements in the within the program, and then now I'm just animating and cleaning up the animated skip. So there we have it. Um, Copy the poses if you want your character. If you want to skip for your character, you can copy these poses and apply it to your character. You're welcome. If you want any more tips or help, just give me a message, drop me a message, and I'll see what I can do. Hopefully, I want to do like some poses and then just like put them in like a PDF format, and then you can just use that for your characters. Because I remember when I was starting up, I wanted a few poses to tell stories, but I didn't really know, and there wasn't anything or any materials out there for me to use. So I'm happy to share that with you guys. Keep consistent, and you're gonna keep getting better. You're gonna keep getting familiar with your character movements, and you'll be able to do with many other different characters as well. So now I'm cleaning up, when the chair breaks, and she's sitting on the different chairs, and she moves to the chair, and this is the bit where she smells the food, and then boom. If you look, that's a nice little stretch because it was like a speedy one. And now I'm just cleaning up her eating the bowl. If you look, I use separate layers for the arm because I don't want to keep reanimating that arm because it doesn't really move. And then here is the jumping bit. I'm cleaning that up as well. Nice and clean. Jumps. Boom. Squash and stretches. And I'm animating the hair flow as well because, get the gravity in. The more you do that, the better, it's communicated. The action is communicated. And remember, clear articulation is the goal. And then now I'm just coloring her nice little simple colors, which is orange, pink, purple, and dark purple, sorry, for the hair, and the darker lips, pink for the upper lip, and lighter pink for the lower lip, and white eyes, and then there we have it. So now I'm just coloring each frame, and there we go. It looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And then yeah, so there we have it. Boom. And then now she's just yawning to jump on the beds. And I just took the background off because I'm just coloring now, so I don't really need the background. And there we have it. And then she sleeps on the bed. And we're just working with the backgrounds as well. So just to articulate that. And then now I'm just cleaning up the backgrounds. This is the house. Pretty nice colors. When you get the chance, please do watch it because it did. I put a lot of effort in that. And this is again, it's just to familiarize myself to animate my characters in actual scenes. And there we have it. Yeah. And then this is when it's too spicy. That's when the chair breaks. I'm just doing the eyes now. There we go. I done the eyes last because it's not. It didn't take a lot. I done it with the lasso tool for the eyes, white eyes. And then there we have it. Nice. And then now this is the bit where the bears are coming home. I speeded up the time lapse because I didn't want to keep you here for too long. I just wanted to get these points across. So there we have it now. Excuse the background noise. I've got the window open because it's hot here. I don't know where you are, but here in England, we're experiencing nice hot heat, which I do appreciate. I'm not gonna moan about it. And so this is the Papa Bear doing his walk cycle. Again, you can copy the poses. That's the contact pose, then the down pose, and then the up pose. There we go. And then making the arms move opposite to the leg on the same side, so we can articulate that nice and clear that this is a walk. So that's the Papa Bear now. Um, and then I'll be doing the Mama Bear, I think. Yeah, so that is the Mama Bear now. If you can see, I'm starting rough. I'm not gonna waste my time trying to do clean, but at the same time, I want it to be nice and clean for me to just clean it up. I do two. I do it in two goals. Some people do it in more goals, but I just want to knock it out. So I don't do too messy. I want to make the action clear, so I can just clean it up nice and clean for when I need to clean it. And as you can see, simple shape. I'm still thinking simple shapes. Cylinders for the arm, cylinders for the leg. You know, nice and easy. Do all my walk cycle poses. So these are not runs, these are just walks. And then I'll do the baby bear. So this is the baby bear. Same process, contact pose, down pose, and then we have the crossing pose where the legs cross, and then we have the up pose. And then we repeat the cycle, but just for the opposite leg again, contact pose, there we go. And then the down pose comes next, and then the crossing pose, and the legs are crossing, and then the up pose, and then there you have yourself a walk cycle. It's that simple, but if you are first trying out, it is going to be a bit hard, but once you familiarize yourself and you do it consistently, it's going to become much easier. And now I'm just going to clean all those up. Well, yeah, so I had to do this standing pose. And then this is the next scene. I have my character sheets there, the colors that I'm going to be doing for them as well. And this is the next scene when they see the state of the house and they're shocked. They're like, whoa, what's going on here? What happened there? So they're all in shock, like, what? Just we are breaking an entry. What's going on? And there you have it. This is we're cleaning everything up now. So we can get nice clean lines. So when our animation finishes, it doesn't look janky and ugly, whatever. We don't want that. And then there we go. So now I'm doing the mama bear, and this is just to get yourself familiar animating actual stories. It's not too bad. And then the baby bear, and then eventually you can start telling your own stories because it's not something that's like far-fetched for yourself. That's why you can utilize stories that's already out there and just remake it with your own characters. Don't copy the whole story, frame for frame or shot by shot, whatever. This is where you get to, experiment with your own. You put your director hat on and you experiment with what shots you want to make and what you want to show. So here I'm coloring the background, coloring the bears, nice and clean. So there we have it. And it's not bad if I do say so myself. And there was one more other scene. I haven't really included that in there because I don't want to really bore you. But here's an example of how to use and utilize your characters and animate them. I hope you find this useful. And if there's anything else I can help with, give me a shout. And there we have it. Nice and easy. Thank you.